In this series of lessons, we'll learn object-oriented programming using Java by working with dice and dice games. The singular form of the word dice is a die. This lesson is meant for beginners. In this lesson, we will learn how to model and create the class UnbiasedDie. What you see here is a picture of a pair of six-faced dice. This is the most common form of dice used in games. There are several characteristics of a six-faced die. 1. The face of the die has numbers from 1 through 6. 2. A die can be unbiased or biased. 3. In an unbiased die, the probability of obtaining any value on the roll of a die is the same. All values are equally probable. 4. In a biased die, we can alter the behavior to allow a particular value, say 6, to occur more often than others. In object-oriented programming, modeling a class is one crucial step. In this case, we need to model the unbiased die as a class. A class can be represented as a three-compartment rectangle as shown here. The first compartment has the name of the class. The middle compartment represents the attributes of the class die. Here, it's a value rolled on the die, which is an integer between 1 and 6. The last compartment represents the methods of the class that would give rise to its behavior. In the case of die, the methods are to roll the die and get the value of the rolled die. A simpler method is to represent a class in a CRC card. The CRC card specifies the name of the class, its responsibilities, and its collaborators. For the class unbiased die, the responsibilities are to roll the die when asked and to return the value of the rolled die when asked. These responsibilities are written in the CRC card as void roll and int get value. This class has no collaborators. The class unbiased die can be defined in Java by writing public class unbiased die. The name of the class is unbiased die. It's declared public, meaning that the class can be accessed and used by all. Within the curly brackets, we'll declare the data of the class and also provide the methods of the class. An important attribute of the class unbiased die is the value of the die when rolled. This is represented here using the statement private int value. This variable value is declared private since we do not want any class other than the class unbiased die to access it. In other words, the attribute value is hidden from other classes, achieving good information hiding. Methods of a class, when executed, provides for its behavior. One method is to let other classes get the value of the die roll. This method is declared as public int get value. When this method is executed, it returns a face value of the die roll through the statement return value. It's only through the use of this method that other classes can access the attribute of unbiased die. An object of a class has to be instantiated before it can be used in a Java program. Every class must be capable of being instantiated. This act is also called as constructing or creating an object. For instantiating of an object of a class unbiased die, we write the statement unbiased die, my die is assigned new unbiased die. The variable my die is the name of the object created of the type unbiased die. we make use of the operator new to instantiate an object. When this statement is executed, the constructor UnbiasedDie in the class would be executed. This is called the default constructor since the method has no parameters listed. The default constructor must be defined in the class UnbiasedDie. We'll now implement the default constructor. This method has the same name as the class itself with no parameters. What we do here is to initialize the variable value to 0. A value of 0 does not exist on the face of a die. This is just to show that the die object has not been rolled yet. When the object is asked to roll, the value would be set to an integer between 1 and 6. Let's now implement the method roll. This method is declared as public void roll. It requires no parameters. It simply simulates the rolling of a die and sets a face value in the variable value. Since it does not return anything, its type is declared void. But how do we simulate the rolling of an unbiased die? We need to be able to generate a random number between 1 and 6 that can occur with equal probabilities. We can make use of the class random available in the Java API in the package java.util.random. There are two steps in using the class random to generate a random number. Step 1. Create an object from the random class, say called roller. Then we have the statement random roller is assigned new random. Step 2. Generate a random number between 1 and 6. This is done through the statement value is assigned roller dot next int of 6 plus 1. The next int message sent to the roller object with the parameter 6 returns a random number between 0 and 5. We need a random number between 1 and 6, so we simply add 1. This value is assigned to the variable value. Using this, we can implement the method roll in the class UnbiasedDie. We place a statement random roller is assigned new random as part of the data attributes of the class. We complete the method roll by the statement value is assigned roller dot next int of 6 plus 1. Note that there are two statements at the top. We have the statement package dice stuff. This means that the class is part of a package called dice stuff. The second is a statement import java.util.random. This makes available the class random for use within this class. We have defined the data attributes of the class. We have implemented the constructor. We have implemented the methods roll and getValue. The class UnbiasedDie is now ready. We'll now solve a problem to illustrate how the class UnbiasedDie can be used. The problem statement. Write a complete Java program that makes use of the class UnbiasedDie, rolls it, and displays the value on the face of the die. We already have the class UnbiasedDie. Edit this as UnbiasedDie.java and compile it to create UnbiasedDie.class. To solve the problem, we need to develop a public class which will have a method called main that will perform a set of tasks using the UnbiasedDie object. We call this class as Die's user. In this, we declare the method main as public static void main string args. The main method is declared somewhat strangely. It's declared public and hence is accessible for all classes to make use of. The keyword static means that the main method inside the class can be directly invoked for execution. Remember that in the class UnbiasedDie, we had to create an object of UnbiasedDie using the new operator before we could invoke a method like roll or getValue. Since main is declared as static, we do not have to create an object from die user to invoke it. The keyword void means that the main method does not return anything. The argument of main is written as string args. We will not discuss this at present. We'll take this up later. The tasks to be performed by the main method are: create an UnbiasedDie object, ask it to roll, get the value of the roll die object, display the value of the die roll. Creating an UnbiasedDie object can be done using the statement UnbiasedDie my die is assigned new UnbiasedDie. This executes the default constructor of the class UnbiasedDie. Recall that this sets the value to 0, indicating the die has not been rolled yet. We can ask the UnbiasedDie object to roll by sending the message roll to it as in the statement myDie.roll. When executed, the method roll is executed, which will generate a random number between 1 and 6 and assign it to the value in the object myDie. We can get the face value of the die rolled by using the method getValue. We write this as int value is assigned myDie.getValue. This gets the face value of the die myDie and assigns it to the variable value. Note that the variable value here is local to the class Die's user. We can now display the value of the roll die using the statement system.out.println value rolled equals plus value plus the new line character. The method println is implemented as a static method like main. So we can invoke that method directly by sending the message println to the class system. For the present, think of the out appearing in the statement as referring to the standard output device or the console screen. The statement displays strings. So the string value rolled is concatenated with the contents of the variable value. Then a new line character is concatenated. The final string is displayed. We have already compiled UnbiasedDie.java to get UnbiasedDie.class. We edit dieuser.java and compile it to get dieuser.class. Then we can execute the program. Try this out. We have learned how to develop the class UnbiasedDie. We have learned how to make use of the class random. We have learned how to make use of the class UnbiasedDie.